with everything going on in the world. They need something that promotes character, creativity, confidence, and joy. The GRN show is not just an average talk show. The topics are powerful and will make you me on this journey to be informed, to relate. Was super. And young woman who started they call bullets for
son passed away. Old, and at that time, you know that where they're coming into themselves. So he was just, learning what it is that he wanted to be and what he wanted to do with his life. um he was an awesome kid. He had straight A's. He was a good
wow.
kid. Only went to his friend's house, didn't really hang out outside very much. So unfortunately, this happened to him.
It is unfortunate. And again, I'm very sorry because I don't think there's anything more painful than a parent losing their child because you always have children behind. So when it does happen, it can be somewhat traumatic. So I appreciate your courage
Yeah.
sharing your story with our viewers. And I know, Susan, you have been on basically, you have been trying to save life through Bullets for Life. Tell us a little bit about Bullets for Life.
Bullets for Life. Yes, pretty much that's what it is, a bullet for a life. What it is, we are an organization that's saving lives and honoring lives one bullet at a time. Unfortunately, I met Annabella after she lost her son. She was the first mom that came to me when she heard about the organization. So we go way back. She was the first mom, one of the first moms. So I just want to thank her for even believing in me in 2016, right, Annabella? Wow. That's how long when I first started, for being the first mom to just trust in who I was, and look where we at right now. So thanks to her for just believing in me, allow me to continue pushing this movement, mothers like her. So we take bullets off the street. I started this movement in 2016 when 6-year-old King Carter was killed. He was only 6-year-old, and he was killed by a stray bullet over an altercation with some other kids, just being in the wrong conversation about bullets, about lives that's being lost to gun violence. So what it is, we ask people to donate their bullets. We don't care who you are, we're gonna show up and we're gonna create a conversation about bullets, about lives that's being lost. This is our way of changing mindset and shifting heart, because it has to be a constant conversation. We cannot get comfortable about this subject. We cannot get comfortable. As soon as you turn around, another child is being killed. So the bullets is just a conversation, and people are actually donating their bullets to us. Over 10,000 bullets was taken off the streets.
Wow.
Over 10,000 bullets. And those bullets are being repurposed for a purpose. So they will never take a life. Those bullets is a life saved. And then we turn around, and I'm teaching mothers how to honor, and fathers, families, period, how to honor your child with the same thing that took his life. We're going to turn around, we're going to take a life back and honor him or her at the same time. So that's what it is, a bullet for a life. Donate a bullet, save a life. Repurpose a bullet, honor our life. It's all about getting into our streets and saving our children from these bullets.
Super. Life is repurposing the bullets. Was that empowering?
I thought it was such a wonderful mission, and it was so inspiring to me, and it really touched my heart when I saw what they meant. I thought
wonderful mission. And in reality, if the bullets are not there, you are actually saving life. You know, I don't know if you've heard, there was a shooting on Easter Sunday in Fort Lauderdale. You had a 6-year-old, a 16-year-old, and an adult who were shot. About 50 you're supposed to be okay.
Thanks,
So those were the lucky one. So in terms, like you said, it hits you home. And sometimes people are oblivious happen at home, but we've seen it in all types of communities. Tell us a little bit about where you live, and is this something you thought would ever happen?
we had just moved to that community because financially we couldn't afford much. So we moved to that community. We were living in Allapattah, and no, we never thought anything like that was going to happen, because he was a good kid. We didn't think he was going to get into any trouble, and he would just go to school and come right back home. So no, we never envisioned anything like this ever happening. And when it did happen, it was a major shock, and it was very traumatizing. And I would say even a bit of PTSD, because then I was terrified to get in and out of the house and in the car. And if I was putting, one of the kids in the car and I would hear somebody behind me, I would just freeze up. So we moved very shortly after that, because I just couldn't live there anymore.
That's understandable. That's understandable. And Susan, tell me a little bit about, obviously, Annabella had a wonderful experience. Tell me, what do you do with other parents in the community? What do you do? Suppose they get involved with Bullets for Life. What are some of the activities that you do with them?
Wow, what don't we do? This unfortunately, because of so many losses, this organization keeps me extremely, extremely, extremely busy. I have lost everything that I used to do and used to know. I don't know that anymore. My job, my home, I've lost everything starting this movement, but I wouldn't change, because I wouldn't change a thing. Like Annabella, like all these moms internationally, it's got to be God. for me to come into their life and be part of their healing process. I've had moms saying, if it wasn't for this organization, I don't know how I would get up every single day. I don't know how this is therapeutic, what you do for me, and just thanking me. So how can I, not be so proud that God has allowed me or given me this amazing move. Why you go hard for a mom? Because I am a mom. I have 3 sons. My oldest is 27, going to be 28 this year. I have a 22-year-old. I have a 16-year-old son. That a bullet don't care who you are, what color you are. None of us are safe from a bullet. So being a mom, I have to get out here and fight to save my children too. But I care about other children. These children that's out here in these streets, these children are in these homes. We're all responsible. I feel like we are the village, we are responsible for our children that's dying every single day, and we have to make a stand. So when I hear a mother lose a child, my heart, everything just go towards that mom, and I show up in their lives. And I don't always say what I do in the beginning. I just show up, because sometimes they just want you to be there. You have to just not, sometimes you don't even have to say a word, just be there for that mom. So I show up in their life. Eventually they find out who I am. And once they find out who I am or what I do, it just started moving. The wheels just start moving. We're going to honor your child. We're going to honor your child. We'll be there in the moment, and we'll be there after, because what happened after the casket is closed and the whole hype is over of this mother losing her child, everybody is gone. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. And that's when these mothers need help more than ever. These fathers, family period, is the aftermath, because it's like a rebirth for them. Everything is changed. They could no longer be the same. And people don't understand that once you lose a child, you will never be the same.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to be
that
rebirthed.
I can vow to.
Yeah. So why show up in their favorite color or your daughter's favorite color, and a message that goes inside of that bracelet. So we are replacing the gunpowder with a positive message. So when that mother wear that bracelet, people's like, oh, that's a pretty bracelet. What is that? It's a conversation piece about her son. It's a conversation. People will hear that story, because her story matters. Her story matters. Her son's story matters. Who he is matters. So we're going to keep that movement going. We're going to keep his name alive through this organization with the same thing that took his life. We're going to save another life and honor him, because you don't know whose soul that is. They talk about, let's save our children. Yeah, let's save our children one bullet at a time, because you don't know who we just saved by honoring Annabella's son.
That's beautiful. Annabella, I see you wearing your bracelet. Do you always wear it?
Yeah, I wear it all the time. Actually, she made one for my husband and one for me, but he works construction. He doesn't want to break it. So I'm the one who usually wears both of them.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell me, what does the bracelet do for you?
It gives me a little peace and a little comfort in knowing what it means. People have asked me, and I've told them what it means, and they kind of get all sad and, like, oh my God, I'm sorry I asked. But it is a beautiful thing to talk about, because nobody wants, anyone to forget their child. So even if he's gone, we all want to remember Ryan.
And I think it's beyond that. When you are wearing something that honors your child who is no longer, it's almost that little piece of him, I imagine, is with you at all times. So it's beautiful, Susan. Now, is it only bracelets that you utilize the bullets for, or do you repurpose them for other things?
We repurpose it for necklaces. We do a lot of workshops in the community with kids. We just had a 6-year-old girl who was killed. Her name is Chastity. She was killed at a 2-year-old birthday party. Okay. At a 2-year-old birthday party, this little 6-year-old girl was killed. So we got a lot more advanced, and God gave me more, more of a purpose. what I do now, I allow the family, I create a line around that baby, not just that one bracelet. I create a whole line, right? With the same color, Chastity favorite color. And for all the young girls that was killed at her age. That we have the Zaria line. The Zaria line is purple. Her favorite color was purple and she loved to dance. So now we create this line for her and 50% goes to her 6 months old baby. So now she have a Bullets for Life account. So if you buy from her line, 50% goes to that 6 months old baby. And inside of every one of Zaria bracelet, it said, keep dancing in heaven because she loved to dance.
That is
so
touching.
So we just listen. I just go by my heart. This is what I do. I've been doing this for 6 years. I cannot stop what I'm doing. It's unfortunately is many, many, many bracelets. I've made thousands of these and given it away to mothers and fathers and siblings. And we also do the workshops with kids where I'm teaching them how to destroy bullets. Kids from 6 and up, because these kids know what it's like to duck from a bullet. They know what is, they have lost someone to a bullet, no matter what age. And our casket is getting smaller and smaller. The casket is getting, I went to Chastity funeral. I went to Alana's funeral. Not a 7-year-old that was killed. I can't unsee these babies in these caskets. So how can I stop doing the work that I'm doing? People always like, you didn't lose anyone. Why are you so passionate? Why do you have to lose someone to fight for our other kids that's not yours?
So let me ask you, and maybe Annabelle, you can also answer. I mean, to me, this is wonderful work, but I imagine with that comes compassion fatigue. Are you working with some of the families that you've helped who can also represent the organization so you're not spreading yourself all over? How are you getting the families engaged in this whole movement aside from the lines of jewelry?
Well, the family today, the one's mother, I didn't get to that part. She came with me. We went beach shopping today. And she came and decided she's going to buy all the ones colors she wants to make. She's going to buy all her blue beads. She want to invest in the work because all this time I was buying the beads and I don't mind. I do it. I empty my pocket. I'll barely make it with gas to the bead store just to support these moms and give them some kind of healing. But she decided she's going to come with me to the bead store today, and she bought his line of beads, and she comes to the office and she create her bracelet for her son. So I have mothers. I have another mom named Rashi Amaros. Her son line is the Mandel collection, is green. She comes and she created his line. We have another mom, Zamari collection, the Z Squad. His mom come and create his line. That's their part of their healing process to keep their child name alive. So I'm the only one that's doing it that has not been affected personally to gun violence.
Thank God.
I'm the only one that's not, but everyone else that's doing it has been affected one way or the other. So they're coming. This is more personal for them. I'm just there for them when they're there, when they're ready. That's it. And we're just going to keep it moving. keep it moving.
Vehicle that's really doing the work. So Annabelle, having gone through something as difficult as you have, what can people do aside from some of the things that Bullets for Life? What kind of support can the community give to families? How, obviously you have a lot of viewers watching this. If somebody wanted to say, okay, Annabelle has gone through this, I want to support families like Annabelle, what would you tell them?
Well, honestly, people like our family who has not received justice, the only thing we think about is justice. We want whoever, did this to, pay for it. So, I mean, maybe somebody, to make a reward, people who to donate to up the reward in order to help the community. That's something that I think that they can help with, because like I said, the most important thing to us is to know that whoever did this is behind bars and serving time for what they did. Even that's not even going to bring us any peace. It's not going to bring us our child back, but it'll give us closure. So that's what I think.
I think that is a great ask. You have people who want to do charity work. Perhaps it could say, okay, let's try to find this person who committed this crime, and I will offer the parents the reward money. That could be something. That could be
even billboards. Even somebody who would donate a billboard space for us to. I mean, we've looked for that before, and we haven't been able to find that. Somebody to donate a billboard space so we can put his face and his information on there so more people can see. I would love one right there, close to the block where he passed away, so people in that area who we know somebody saw, and we'd love for them to be able to come forward. It's already been 8 years, so maybe they're not as fearful now to come forward. So
it's time to wake them up. I love the billboard that it's time to wake them up. It's time to put.
I mean, the problem is money. Money is always the problem. So money can solve a lot.
That's important. One thing I want to say though, when she mentioned money, when these moms or these families lose their children, they can start, what we want to start doing is, how do they get back up and go to work in the everyday life? How do we expect families that just lost something, the greatest thing you could that's the biggest loss you could lose. How do we expect them to get up and go to work, get up and drive, live an everyday life after they lose a child? How do we expect that? We want this organization to be able to grow where we can cover at least 3 months rent for a mom, bills, because we pay bills too. We raise money to pay bills. We just raised money for a mom who haven't had a headstone for her son in 5 to 6 years. And we was able to raise money for a headstone. I want to be able to do that for so many moms and families that cannot afford it because they don't expect their child to be lost. Not everybody is thinking of life insurance before their child.
Even food, when they first pass away, you don't even think about that. But the first week or 2 weeks, you're not even thinking about making dinner or going by a McDonald's. You're just in a zone. You are out of it. You're like a zombie and people pull you around. Hey, come here, eat this. Or, hey, let's go here. But you're barely functioning. So just someone bringing you a plate of food makes a huge difference.
Wow. And, it's just so many ideas. And I mean, this whole thing can really explode. Imagine if you have restaurants who says, I'm going to join this movement. And
come on now.
That would be great.
Provide the food. The billboard, a social media specialist, and things on social media. So, the sky is the limit. And it's wonderful work that you're doing. So I am so pleased to have had the opportunity to really kind of hear what you're doing. And also, Annabella, our heart goes out to you. I pray that justice will be done. So, Susan, how does one help your organization? Is there a website they can go to? Tell us, how can we help the organization?
You can definitely follow my movement on Facebook. It's Susan's Bullets. You can also go on our Instagram, and you can always DM. It's Bullets number 4 and life. Please follow our Instagram. Make the work that we do go viral. The stupidest thing go viral, and our children that's dying in these streets is not going viral. You can also go to my website, www.bulletproof, PROVE, the evidence of taking bullets off the street. That's why it's called Bulletproof, PROVE, accessories.com. Bulletproofaccessories.com. You can go in there and you can make a purchase a bracelet. Once you purchase a bracelet, one is given to a mom or dad who lost a child. So buy our bracelet, purchase our bracelet, and allow me to continue giving these moms, these families, some kind of healing, and you could also text 305-600-9147 and say you would like to make a donation to the organization, and we'll go from there.
Excellent. Well, so once again, ladies, I cannot thank you enough. And you're in our prayers. The mission of the organization is wonderful. And as I said, Annabella, I pray for justice for your son. So good evening.
Thank you so very much.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Is thinking of life insurance before their child.
Even food, when they first pass away, you don't even think about that. But the first week or 2 weeks, you're not even thinking about making dinner or going by a McDonald's. You're just in a zone. You are out of it. You're like a zombie, and people pull you around. Hey, come here, eat this, or hey, let's go here. But you're barely functioning. So just someone bringing you a plate of food makes a huge difference.
Wow. And, it's just so many ideas. And I mean, this whole thing can really explode. Imagine if you have restaurants who says, I'm going to join this movement. And
come on now.
That would be great.
Provide the food, the billboard, a social media specialist, and things on social media. So, the sky is the limit. And wonderful work that you're doing. So I am so pleased to have had the opportunity to really kind of hear what you're doing. And also, Annabella, our heart goes out to you. I pray that justice will be done. So Susan, how does one help your organization? Is there a website they can go to? Tell us, how can we help the organization?
You can definitely follow my movement on Facebook. It's Susan's Bullets. You can also go on our Instagram, and you can always DM. It's Bullets number 4 and life. Please follow our Instagram. Make the work that we do go viral. The stupidest thing go viral, and our children that's dying in these streets is not going viral. You can also go to my website, www.bulletproof, PROVE, the evidence of taking bullets off the street. That's why it's called Bulletproof, PROVE, accessories.com. Bulletproofaccessories.com. You can go in there and you can make a purchase a bracelet. Once you purchase a bracelet, one is given to a mom or dad who lost a child. So buy our bracelet, purchase our bracelet, and allow me to continue giving these moms, these families, some kind of healing, and you could also text 305-600-9147 and say you would like to make a donation to the organization, and we'll go from there.
Excellent. Well, so once again, ladies, I cannot thank you enough. And you're in our prayers. The mission of the organization is wonderful. And as I said, Annabella, I pray for justice for your son. So good evening.
Thank you so very much.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
A gun shop popped up on the Lower East Side last week.
Gun shop in Manhattan, but it's not what you might think.
Gun shop.
Gun shop. Gun shop.
The gun shop opened in New York for 2 days with the goal of making first-time gun buyers think twice.
The store was set up here last week in a matter of hours, outfitted with cameras.
And they were taping while it all happened. And here is some of what they got. Watch this.
It's our most popular one. It's a 22 caliber 6-inch revolver. It's also a gun that a 5-year-old found in his parents' bedroom, went down and shot his 9-month-old baby brother with it.
When it says shooter, 5-year-old kid, dead one, what does that mean?
That's the history.
This is the gun that the guy
That's
shot.
the gun.
This is the one? This is the one that the kid used? Holy shit.
Sie hat die Aktion ganz
Something like this aims to change not laws, but individual minds about the wisdom of buying guns. Maybe they can't. The NRA seems pretty worried that they might.
Good evening, Dorothy. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
You know, did you hear about the shooting in Fort Lauderdale on Easter Sunday?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, there was no one who lost their lives.
That is so true.
Yeah, so today's topic, we're going to talk about keeping each other safe. When it comes to gun violence, America has suffered a high alarming rate of tragedy. From children to adults, large-scale shootings, homicides, and suicide. It was reported that America hit its highest toll of death rate of gun violence in over 20 years in the year of 2020, which was last year. In some form or shape, we all somehow know someone who may have been a victim, or you may have been a victim to gun violence. Dealing with a tragedy of this is extremely very hard to deal with. We all must find a way to help stop losing loved ones to these tragic incidents. So here's some ways we can be more mindful and vigilant to knowing, recognizing, and helping prevent these terrible situations. My first thing I'd like to mention is reduce access to guns. If you are a gun owner, it's so important to help keep them in a safe place, no matter what. We all know guns can kill, and making it hard to access helps save lives, whether it's children or adults in your surrounding. Not having easy access can help save lives. Secondly, if you see or hear anything, say something. Whether you are out in public or even privately, if you suspect something isn't right, at a safe distance, seek help immediately. As we all know, tragic situations are unpredictable in its size. By not only ignoring a situation or conversation can save many lives. And finally, educate yourself on gun safety. By being aware, alarmed, and vigilant, it helps your community form and shape a safer place against gun violence in all its forms. It definitely can help to save a life every day. So these are my suggestions and tips for this week on gun violence.
Awesome. Right on target as always. Thank you so much, Dorothy, and we'll talk next week.
See you next week.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Have you ever dreamt of having your own television show? If you have, then I have the perfect solution and television station for you to reach hundreds of thousands of viewers. Aries Vision is a television company and media company that can help you get your show on the air. They have tools to help you decide the right platform, like Roku, which is growing, and they absolutely can help you decide between a half an hour slot or an hour slot and get your show on the air fast. Give them a call at 954-990-8056 or email them at ariesvisionllc@gmail.com to get your dream off the ground.
We are back and we've reached the end of our show. You know, losing a loved one unexpectedly is probably one of the most difficult things one can experience in their lifetime. But when you know your loved one died from gun violence or may have suffered, I think it is even a harder pill to swallow. As we've heard from Annabella, she lost her son 8 years ago. Until now, they have not yet found the killer. So as a community, I think if this is a cause that resonates to you, perhaps you can help Susan with Bullets for Life. Perhaps you can advise or serve as a counselor to your youth ministry to really help them understand the consequences of gun violence. Whatever it is, I think it is an issue that really has not been solved for the many decades we've been working on gun control. So we as community people, we as resident, we can do a little bit. So I'd like to leave you with a quote that really kind of resonated with me this evening for the show. And it says, "I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something." So with that, I'd like to say thank you for joining us this evening. And until next Saturday, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.